How's it going? BTC community, XRP community, DLT community, Ethereum community, crypto community, all the communities out there. What is up, everybody? Guys, good to have you all here. Daniel XRP, Texas Crypto, XRP Tiny Papa, Legendary. What's up, man? How's it going, y'all? How you guys enjoying this? I'm just doing some prospecting on some ships. Maybe a ship we can get when we go to the moon here. How's everybody doing? Welcome, guys, to another somewhat DLT late night. It's not too late of a night. Just gonna end it earlier today, or starting it earlier, I mean. Appreciate you all tuning in. Guys, 9 viewers, 7 likes already to start the stream. You guys are amazing. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Guys, of course, we got some charts that we're going to be looking at. Oh, that's not what I was intending right there. But, yeah, we got the charts here. Let's see what's going on in the past hour. Zap, it's doing its thing. 10-cent sap, or Zap right now. Data at 0.04. Zap is definitely taken off, man. 129 in the past 30 days. Let's see what the top cryptos have been in the past 30 days here. District OS and CVC makes sense since they got listed onto Coinbase. XRP, XLM, Salt, Space Chain, guys. I saw Space Chain hit like about 2 cents, I believe, or maybe halfway through 1 cent to 2 cents. Waves is doing its thing. AAVE, NEM, RSR, Ada, Cody, Track, one of the newer ones that I've listed on here. I don't know why I didn't have Track on this list to begin with, but we'll see, you know, some Track talk definitely for sure during this live stream as well. AMP, Seller. That's your top cryptos in the past 30 days. Zilliqa throughout the year, though, has been doing pretty well as well. Fab, how you doing, man? Good to see you guys. Good to see the Blue Crew. Eknofo in the house. What's up, Eknofo? How you doing, man? Guys, appreciate you tuning in here. Guys, just thanks so much for your support. You guys are already smashing those likes on the way in. You guys are mass adopting the like button right now. Like 9 likes to start off this stream. Crazy, man. 14 viewers. Thank you guys so much for your support. I really appreciate it. It really helps this channel a lot. And, you know, we do it to hang out with the Blue Crew, to hang out with all the communities out there, educate each other, keep ourselves informed. I know the prices are starting to move, guys. But, you know, there's still news that gets released on the daily, right? And there's still some stuff as well that I like to share with you. So let me give you guys a preview of some of the stuff we'll go over today. Let me just move this over really quick and set up the trading view so we can set up the XRP chart right here. And then we're going to be looking at charts in between. How's everybody doing out there? Appreciate you all tuning in. What is up? What is up? Guys, by the way, just a warning. 9 days until, I think 9 days until US users must leave Binance International or stop using the Binance International app. So I mean, I've already started moving some of the cryptos to wallets and then moving to some of the, like if I had XRP or XLM or something else like that, I'd transfer it over to Kraken, the US's first crypto bank, right? So I'm relying on Kraken. I know you can't put your trust too much on these exchanges or anything like that, but you know, I think it being the first US crypto bank, I'm gonna trust Kraken in terms of custodying some of these digital assets of mine. I mean, not all of it, obviously. I have most of it on ledgers and whatnot, but just trying to be safe, man. We're getting close to that point where regulation is really coming in, and you know, maybe we're not going to see it happen right away. If it does happen in 2020, I won't be surprised, but I think we're going to start seeing more steps towards regulations. You're going to start seeing these exchanges kind of do what we may think is shady things, but they're actually just now starting to follow. They're realizing regulations are coming heavy, and now they're starting to follow regulations, hence why Binance International is closing down to US users. I think whatever regulators got onto them and said, hey, you can't continue to be serving US users. You have Binance.us for that, right? So why aren't you using that? Berserker, my man, $2 donation. Thank you so much. Just zap it. What's up, G? Exactly, man. Just zap it, dude. All that FUD, all that negativity or anything like that, just zap it. If there's ever anything I would tell you to do, it's just to zap it. By the way, guys, I'm not a professional trader, not a financial advisor by any means. And if I ever said if I ever say, oh, this is a good time for you to do something or anything like that, it's mostly me talking to myself, or I would never tell you guys what to do. You guys, you know, the Blue Crew, they do their own thing, man. Yeah, Celsius is looking good too. What do you mean, XRP Tiny Papa? I mean, the thing with Celsius that I'm still iffy about, I like Celsius. I like that they're supporting the Spark drop, and I do have XRP and XLM on there gaining interest for me. But one of my holdbacks from Celsius, and it has been from the beginning, I love that CryptoC is an ambassador for it, but for me, I'm not fully confident yet in Celsius and what it can do. I know that it's built on the EOS blockchain, but EOS moved out of the US or left the US, right, because of regulations, and they're considered a security, right? So Celsius is built on top of the EOS blockchain. So that's where I have a little bit of a hesitation. I do own some EOS myself. I speculate on EOS. I speculate on Cell as well. But that's one of those things that worries me, that keeps me from going all in on Celsius or even wanting to accumulate more Cell tokens. You know, they do understand they're going with it that Cell is a security because it is built on the EOS blockchain. It's got to be considered a security, right? So, you know, unless you guys want to educate me on something that I don't know about Celsius, but that's so far as what I know about Celsius, is that it's built on the EOS blockchain, and as so far as I know, EOS definitely is not a fan of US regulations and is considered a security. I know, I love that interest on Mondays for sure, Rotson, for sure. I think right now I'm just trying to be make investments in the cryptos that I like. For sure, I feel 100% about XRP and Stellar. I think XRP, Stellar, and Iota, somewhat, I'm getting close to Iota being 100% for me right now. I know Ethereum's going to be doing its thing, but, you know, I'm not too... until it gets to Ethereum 2.0, I'll be more excited about Ethereum. I'm more bullish about it. But, yeah, so... I'm just trying to be safe around this time because now we're starting to see regulations starting to come about and starting to roll, right? And I'm interested to see what the consequences of Binance International not being available to US users is going to be like. I wonder if it's going to have a negative effect on the market. I'm not so sure. I could see it going numerous ways. I'm thinking like it'll have a negative effect on market, but a positive effect on like the top 10 cryptos, for example, or the cryptos that are listed on Coinbase, for example, or the ones that are listed on Binance US, the ones that are listed on Kraken, right? So the top 3 are going to probably be really good investments right there if, you know, Binance International users from the US can't invest in those cryptos that are only on Binance International. You know, I expect to see some price spikes, or not price spikes, but, you know, appreciation for the top 3 cryptos that have more liquidity, right? Because that's what it's all about at the end of the day. XRP Tiny Papa saying that's not a problem. All right, cool. Dude, nice, Rotson. That's awesome, dude. By the way, guys, thanks for tuning in. Thanks to the 12 viewers and 17 likes already to start off the stream. You guys are amazing. So we hit about that level that I was kind of considering. I'm happy we broke about it because we did close beneath it, this support level that I wanted XRP to bounce off of. But you know what? Maybe I just didn't put the support level at a right place. But it's nice to get that bounce. It's nice to get this right here. You guys are going to see this right here in a second. From our initial impulse up, I'm just going to go from candle close to candle close. Right there at that 61.8 golden retrace zone, that's when it started to bounce, and now we're just continuing the party, man. I mean, look at this daily bearish candle right here that we have here that's starting. At least it has 18 hours, so this can easily turn bullish. One of my worries is that these 2 green candles couldn't engulf these previous bearish candles, but we got that bounce off the 61.8% of retracement, hopefully Monday is just as exciting as Monday was for us this past week, right? Hopefully it's just to continue, and hopefully we just start to enjoy Mondays a lot more, right? I bought some gold for the first time this year. Kudos to you, my man. I'm hearing January is going to be massive for gold. Who knows? It might happen a month sooner. December is lining up to be a hell of a last chapter to 2020. That is for sure. Whether we see regulations, whether it is indeed the year of the digital asset, and we end up seeing, you know, what that means by the end of 2020 here. But I'm excited for sure for this whole space going into 2021. I think 2021 end of year is going to be even more bullish, especially if it's going off the Bitcoin halving like it did in 2017. Bitcoin halving was in 2016. Then you saw that bull run in 2017. So we had the Bitcoin halving this year in 2020. I'm expecting, if it were to repeat, because we're in uncharted territory, anything can happen. Sometimes patterns don't repeat. But if it were to repeat, 2021 end of year would be the year for that massive bull run that is sort of 2017-esque. I know a lot of people have been saying 2020 has been like that, but now just imagine what 2021 is going to be. If you think this is good, just wait till 2021. And I'm excited for sure. 2022, with a lot of, you know, developments in terms of ISO 20022 standards, which we're going to be going over, and then as well with the ECB Big Bang migration that we've talked about on this channel before. ECB shifting over from the T2S projects over to Target 2 systems, and that migration that's going to be taking place, I think that's going to be massive. It's involving ISO 20022 basically at the end of the day as well. And we're going to go into ISO 20022 a little bit more in depth in this video, because I still feel a lot of people don't understand what ISO 20022 really is. And so we're going to be looking into that. So let me give you guys a preview of a bunch of information that we got today. Some fun PDFs and whatnot as well. So we got ISO 20022, the central bank strike back against Bitcoin and DeFi payments, but XRP price will surge. This was released this year, by the way. Got some good stuff in it as well. Obviously, Ripple, in terms of their involvement and what they expect out of ISO 20022, shaping the future of cross-border payments. We're going to go to the ISO 20022 website. So this is all about ISO 20022. I should probably rename this stream just ISO 20022. Trying to give you guys a better understanding what this whole thing is, right? Because it's really important. You guys are going to see for sure. I won't jump ahead, but as we start going along, I'm just going to give you guys this preview of all the stuff that we got here lined up. Ripple's involvement in ISO 20022. Acceptance in the banking industry? Maybe. Ripple joins ISO 20022 standard body. Right. IBM financial transaction for ISO 20022. So maybe some good positive stuff for Stellar in here as well. Ashish Burla, bullish on ISO 20022 himself. Once again, Ripple joining ISO 20022 standards body, but a little bit more information there. Oh yeah, there was this, I don't know if you guys saw that from Joel Katz, but Joel Katz releasing a photo today. Check this out. I just happened to stumble on this really cool old picture of me. I have no idea where I was, what I'm doing, or when this was taken. Crazy stuff, man. Look at the size of those computers, man. And then right up here on the upper left-hand corner, it has the answer to life, everything, and whatnot. 42. Little reference to Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy out there. Mr. Babakug saying, or Mr. C saying, you and Brad, Wozniak and Jobs. Who knows? Who knows? Maybe they are the future Wozniak and Jobs, but still so much more room to grow in terms of Ripple and XRP adoption. Right? What's up to everybody in the chat, by the way? Guys, thanks so much for tuning in. Appreciate y'all. We're just hanging out here on a Saturday. How's it going, TJ Denton? How you doing, my man? I think XRP bottom is 55 cents. XRP Tiny Papa. I like the sound of that, my man. I like the sound of that a lot. Ripple selling off MoneyGram stock is good news. Ripple is letting MoneyGram grow on its own from here and put profits into new projects. TJ Denton, I like that perspective a lot, and I agree with that one as well. I'm also thinking, because right now we're dealing with a situation where the stock market and crypto market aren't really replicating what's going on in our reality, right? In terms of the economy. In crypto, it's a little bit different because it involves digital, digital instruments per se, and the world is becoming more digital, so it makes sense that we're becoming more speculative on crypto. But in terms of the stocks, the stock market is definitely not reflecting the current economy we're in. Big tech is reflecting it, I think, because there is a lot of user in big tech. But all in all, long story short, what I want to say is I think Ripple sold off part of that MoneyGram stock because they bought in so low on MoneyGram stock that they made crazy profits, more than what they put in initially, right, in their investment. So now they're taking profits, and now they're playing with house money in terms of their the remaining investment that they have in MoneyGram. But also, I feel somewhat that Ripple might be expecting a shakeout of some sort in the stock market, maybe a critical dip in MoneyGram stock that would take it back down to, I don't know, like when I invested in MoneyGram, it was around like $1 or so, and now it's like at around 7 or 8, right? So then I'm expecting maybe in between there, you're gonna probably see a dip if there is a major crash that's coming along, down to $3 for MoneyGram stock. I think Ripple is just saying, hey, we feel like this dip is going to be coming soon. Let's take that profits. Let's take more of what we put in, right? Because they made hella profits from it. So now that they have the profits and they're playing with the house money, it's just a win-win situation for Ripple. And if the market were to crash, sure, the money that they have in MoneyGram left over is going to be going down, but at least they're just playing with the house money at that time, right? Proletariat, I like that. Yeah, man, bro Barry. Bro Montana. ISO 20022 is important, man, because I feel a lot of people in the crypto space in general don't understand, like, especially if we're talking about using these cryptos or digital assets as payments, and then in relation to XRP or XLM being bridge currencies for payments. By the way, guys, I think it's official. XRP and XLM are the only two cryptos in this whole space dealing with correspondent banking, or dealing with providing solutions to correspondent banking. I think it's official from there, man. I can't show you the source or anything like that. I think we probably have gone over it in a live stream before, but anything that I see in terms of a PDF that involves like banks or the IMF or something like that, the only two that I see that are talked about in terms of correspondent banking, this is not about like Internet of Things or supply chain like Iota might be. But XRP and XLM are legitimately the only two that are talking with central banks, getting involved with central banks, getting involved with the ISO 20022 standards. I don't know about XLM, but maybe through IBM there's some way that they're working around ISO 20022, but there's going to be a lot of ISO 20022 talk, to say the least. Alright, so continuing forward, we got this document right here from the IMF staff discussion notes, written in 2016, guys. Written in 2016. We'll see the type of cryptos that they talk about in this. Another one, I think we've looked at this before, but just something to kind of keep in mind. The European Parliament, way back in the day, I think this was, 2018? Talking about cryptocurrencies, labeling them, saying what they are, and then this is their opinion of what these cryptos are. So we'll be looking at that. ADBI Institute, big time company right here, the Asian Development Bank Institute. We got a PDF right here with them as well that I want to look through. LSE, Institute of Global Affairs, Basic Principles for Regulating Crypto Assets, London School of Economics and Political Science. Some good stuff here. We'll probably just graze through that one as well. And then an awesome video here about the ISO 20022 revolution and the speakers in this. We're going to be looking into the speakers, the people who are talking about the ISO 20022 movement, right? Once again, ISO 20022 payments for the messaging and webinar. Yeah, this stuff is more about revealing certain stuff. We'll get to that in just a sec. The ISO 20022 standards body, once again, Faster Payments Council we'll look at. I mean, there's a lot of stuff we're going to be going through. Hopefully we can get through most of it in tonight's stream. It's not like we're going to read every single one word for word like I usually do in terms of the news, but just kind of highlighting and going through this train of thought and trying to get you guys to understand ISO 20022, Ripple's involvement in terms of the ISO 20022 standards body, and then why I'm thinking I do love Stellar, I do love IBM. I see IBM's connection with ISO 20022, so thus I think that's how Stellar is connected, and maybe they're just keeping their mouths extra shut in terms of Stellar and XLM, but it really is making me think that XRP basically equals ISO 20022 standards when we look at the definitions for ISO 20022. IBM blockchain, a PDF from 2016 talking about Ripple. They talk about Ripple in this article. So we know about IBM's connection with Stellar, but here in 2016 they were looking into Ripple too, right? And that was the year, I think 2016 was around the year that Stellar was just getting launched, so maybe IBM saw something better in Stellar, who knows? I mean, there's going to be blockchains that do move into this future. I think POW is going to die out. I think you're going to have these new unique forms of consensus that are very energy efficient, eco-friendly, cheap to transact, and I think you're going to see them interoperating together. I think XLM and Ripple and XRP are going to be perfect interoperable partners at the end of the day. I don't think there's any animosity or any rivalry. I think they're both trying to help out banks, help out businesses, enterprises, improve their payments, right? I don't think they're trying to, and competition's healthy, right? But I think they're actually like more intertwined than we think. Faster payments, a faster payments PDF right here that I want to look through from Niche. And then, yeah, I mean, this speaks for itself. Ripple definitely wants to target China with its blockchain-based payment tech, says. So we're going to be looking into that. And then some Iota stuff, guys. I've been getting into Iota. I've been trying to dig deeper with Iota because through digging for Ripple stuff and XRP stuff or Stellar stuff and XLM stuff, I've been seeing Iota or HBAR coming in and out pretty often. And pretty interesting to hear what they have to say here. This was interesting in terms of relations payments Canada, because I think the Royal Bank of Canada is an official Ripple partner and is looking to implement fully ISO 20022, so we're going to be going through this stuff too. So just a lot of good stuff for you guys. Who knows if we get through all of it, but you know, it's just stuff to keep our minds to chew on, right? To keep looking out for. Yeah, and then just Iota stuff, guys. I'm getting into Iota. I think I like Iota personally, and I know you guys are going to hate me so much from this. As a speculative asset, I like VeChain as a speculative asset. You know, speculating that it's going to go to $1. I like VeChain for that. But in terms of like real world adoption and who has more of a foothold in supply chain, I personally think Iota has more of a foothold in the supply chain industry. I know that's not something a lot of you would agree on. I'm open to be wrong. You guys can tell me more about VeChain. I hodl VeChain. I hodl Iota. But I see VeChain as more of like, I can't wait for it to get to $1 and then I'm out type of thing. Whereas Iota, I feel confident that they are setting up something for the future, and I like that it's at least not at all involved with the Chinese government or the Chinese Communist Party. I like that they're based out of Berlin in Germany, you know. Or no, not in Germany, but you guys get what I'm saying. Future reality, XLM? Yeah, dude, XLM, man. I like XRP, XLM, Iota, HBAR. Let me see, what other ones? I think Ethereum's going to do things as well because they're heavily involved in Hyperledger. I'm just waiting for that Ethereum 2.0. I mean, obviously I can't wait to invest, but I'm saying in terms of my enthusiasm for Ethereum, I'm waiting just a bit. Yeah, exactly. That is how you spell it. IOTA. Internet of Things Association. It's been around for a good long time. People have kind of forgotten about Iota because it's not one that gets you tremendously huge gains by any means, but it was definitely, I think Iota was in the top 10 around 2017 or 2016. But I've seen their names just flying around on a lot of these PDFs that I look at. They're involved with Hyperledger. They have this thing called the Tangle or Tangle Iota, and it's an interesting development that they got going on there as well. But I know a lot of people are definitely big VeChain enthusiasts. I love VeChain as well, you guys. But at the same time, it's hard for me to trust a company that is, you know, in a way it's bullish that they're backed by the Chinese government and supported by the Chinese government. But at the same time, it's also a mind fuck because you have no clue what they're going to do, right? So I mean, I don't see any harm in holding both is what I'm trying to say. I'm just saying personally, myself, I think I like Iota more now. Who knows? That might change in the future. Cardano is definitely one that's been sticking out as well. Yeah, Cardano is going to be a good one too. And yeah, excited, man. I'm excited for, you know, we still have such a long way to go. There's still so many of these things that are in their infancy. And we're not even, this isn't even like, people say this is just the beginning. We're still not even at the beginning, right? It's crazy. By the way, Future Reality, what's up, man? Welcome to the stream. Here's a wrench. Please use it wisely. With the wrench comes great responsibility. Isn't VET in Singapore? Their offices are based in Singapore, but they are supported by the Chinese government. I mean, I can show you. I don't know. I'm sure like some article could just like pop it up really quick here. Yeah, here we go. Right here at the bottom, I think. Yeah. VeChain is widely regarded as the leading enterprise supply chain management platform leveraging blockchain technology. The platform is backed by the Chinese government and is even promoted by state media. So coming from Cointelegraph. I mean, I think Cointelegraph is pretty reliable, but I found out that you know, some of these crypto sites like CoinDesk, for example, is actually a Ripple investor. It's kind of crazy if you think about it. But here, I'll do some comparisons right now since we're gonna jump into first with some Iota stuff. How about that? And then we'll end it with the good stuff, with the XRP stuff, with the ISO 20022. Have you looked at Ocean at all? Oh, dude, I like Ocean. I do like DOT. I own those as well. Ocean, big time I like. I liked Ocean ever since I found out that they led a interledger protocol workshop. Once I found out that Big Chain, that is the creator of the Ocean protocol, ran an interledger protocol workshop, I was like, okay, Ocean's going to definitely be probably part of that internet of value, that interoperable web of blockchains, along with the Ripples and XRPs. I'm definitely excited for Ocean. Thanks for bringing that up, by the way, Nitro. Here's a wrench. Please use it wisely. With the wrench comes great responsibility. DOT, I'm excited for too. I do own some DOT. You know, it's one thing at a time, man, because like I've been digging through so much through the Ripple rabbit hole and the XRP rabbit hole, and then into Stellar, and then now I'm just starting to get into Iota. So I'm like a turtle when it comes to like how heavy the research becomes, but I do own a lot of these cryptos. I mean, if you look at this list, I own about, I don't know, 20 to 30 of these cryptos out of 150 that I'm interested in and would like to maybe have a little bit of, which would be great. My heaviest portfolios, or my heaviest bags though, for sure, are XRP and XLM. Excited about those two, big time. Yeah, for sure, dude. Everybody welcome Nitro and who was it? Future Reality to the Blue Crew. XRP Bags in the house. What's up, XRP Bags? Mr. A, good seeing you guys. Appreciate y'all. All right, so just a quick one between Iota and VeChain. So I think some people already know enough about VeChain here, where VeChain is partnered up with the DNVGL group, which is a big supply chain partner and one of their biggest partners as well. VeChain's also partnered up with BMW, and has a lot of these other nice partnerships that's involved in it. And I'm definitely bullish on VeChain. Don't get me wrong, you guys. I just don't think that they're the only game in the supply chain arena, and that's where we go into Iota. So let me just was it in here that it starts? Give me a sec. Nope. That one's Ripple. Ripple. Okay. So Origin Trail is another crypto. They're called Trace or Track. This is Track. Origin Trail. Already booming, 73% in the last 30 days. So Track and Iota are partnered up. So they're integrating that Internet of Things as well. They both are using, I think, this GS1 standard. Give me a second. Yeah, the standards GS1. This is really important. This is kind of like the ISO 20022 for supply chains. In a world of growing data, GS1 standards help you single out what really matters. They give you a common language to identify, capture, and share supply chain data. So a lot of anything to deal with supply chain or supply shipment or tracking needs to go through GS1, right? So then we go into blockchain and the future of internet and comprehensive review. You can see all these universities talking about it on here that are listed as authors. And right here you start having cryptocurrencies examples. Iota, of course, Ripple is there, right? They talk about them. We go into the top supply chains, the top 25 for 2019 at least in terms of supply chain. And Iota, see, this is where I don't know in terms of, I think the biggest one on this list for VeChain, and I don't think it's all of Walmart. I think it's just Walmart China. But yeah, Walmart, which is number 14 on the list. But Iota has got one of the top dogs, one of the top 5 in there, and has Cisco systems. And let me just show you how Cisco right here. So Iota, an open blockchain source or blockchain, teams up with Microsoft and others on a data marketplace, right? So then they create this trusted IoT alliance with Cisco. So not only do you have this connection with Huawei, which we've talked about in terms of relations with Ripple as well, but you have at Iota here in connections to Cisco, creating the Internet of Things Alliance. And this is a top 5 supply chain business. So this is a bigger deal, I think personally, than the Walmart partnership for VeChain. Now, in terms of prices, that's a whole different story. And that's why I'm saying VeChain is a nice speculative one. But I think in terms of like more wide scale use, I think you're going to see Iota make a big surprise here. You also have Volkswagen and Samsung Group at the time announcing their allegiances with Iota. It's headquartered in Berlin. So the data marketplace is a completely separate project that simply utilizes the underlying Iota protocol. Iota said more than 2.5 quintillion bytes of data are generated daily and are increasing exponentially on a monthly basis. However, more than 99% of this data is wasted and lost to the void because there is currently no ability for owners to sell or share this data in a secure fashion. Any kind of data can be monetized. If you have a weather station collecting wind, temperature, humidity, and barometric data, for instance, you can sell that to an entity that is doing climatic research. So then Iota is one of those first, along with Ripple, to not really be a traditional blockchain, if not a blockchain at all. And by doing that, they use a DAG system, I think a acrylic graph or something like that, DAG. They use this DAG to help them make cheaper transactions with their protocol, with their token, right? To allow that transfer of data to be a lot faster, right? So once again, you have their connections here with Bosch, Consensus, US Bank, and Cisco, right? Just the same way that people get excited about VeChain with BMW. You know, Iota is right here with Volkswagen. I mean, I'm not saying that that Volkswagen is bigger than BMW by any means, but you know, providing layer 1 smart contracts as well, layer 2 smart contracts as well, and then we move on to, give me a second, the United States Patent Application publication right here, and you start to see right here, among others in the embodiments, the fog may be a tangle as defined by the Iota Foundation. And fog is just a form of low latency cloud computing, right? And so you see, I don't know, like the Amazons are doing fog computing, right? Or fog, like this evolution of cloud computing called fog right here. US giant Intel references Iota Tangle as a solution for fog computing, right? And then if we looked over at Iota and look at this, they're part of the Hyperledger consortium, right? Integrate Hyperledger Fabric with Iota Tangle. Hyperledger Fabric also connected with Interledger Protocol, right? So I definitely think Iota is going to be, and I love the Hyperledger Foundation. I'm a really big fan of Hyperledger. I think the thought leaders for that are Accenture and the DTCC. We've looked through these guys before in some of my videos as well, but if you guys have questions about them, you know, let me know. But I'm just trying to go through a lot of info really quick, but if you guys have any questions, feel free to ask me. But I definitely think Iota, at the end of the day, is a real boat, and I'm excited to see what Iota is going to be offering, especially with their Tangle operation and, you know, being involved in that Hyperledger consortium. I think looking at what's on Hyperledger is a good way of trying to figure out what's a real boat in this space. But you know, as well as R3, right? The R3 consortium and the what else do we got? We got Digital Currency Group, the Digital Chamber of Commerce, right? But I think Hyperledger is going to be something really big as well, and the projects that are involved with that, I'm excited for. Ethereum's in there, XRP's in there, Chainlink's in there, Cardano's in there, right? I'm not sure about Polkadot just yet in terms of it being involved with Hyperledger. I'm not so sure. But XLM is, right? I don't know if Tezos is yet. VeChain isn't. And, you know, I definitely would like to see VeChain get involved in the Hyperledger, though. That would be great. Legendary Communist China or Nazi Germany, exactly. What exactly is a DAG? Yeah, for sure, man. So, directed acyclic graph. In mathematics, particularly graph theory and computer science, directed acyclic graph, DAG, is a directed graph with no directed cycles. That is, it consists of vertices and edges, with each edge directed from one vertex to another. DAGs can model many different kinds of information, basically to keep it short, right? They can model many different types of information. It's definitely it's like a different model compared to that of the blockchain, right? It's a different type of algorithm that it finds, and it's kind of interesting, right? It's kind of similar to what Interledger is with in terms of small packets of data. There's also a crypto called DAG or Constellation, and it does use the abbreviation DAG. That one we might do a separate video for another time. Yeah. See, I feel like people were going to interpret that wrong. I'm just saying, personally, I like Iota more than VeChain, but as a speculative asset, like as something that I want to see more ROI, that's tough to tell. But I think short-term ROI, I think VeChain for sure is going to be there. I would just like to see VeChain more involved in terms of American or US type of things, or be involved with Hyperledger. Like, that would be great if VeChain can somehow be part of that Hyperledger consortium. But hell, man, if they're backed by the Chinese government, that's a big deal. Like, I understand it is communist China and whatnot, but if it's backed by that government, even though we don't know what their intentions are at all for it, that's what, you know, what keeps me a little bit reserved about it. I love VeChain. I think VeChain could definitely make a lot of people rich, without a doubt, down the line. I really hope so. You know, because I definitely have a good bag of it, but I've just been really liking what I've been seeing out of Iota recently. And you know, both VeChain and Iota have been around for around like the same period of time as well, both tackling that supply chain aspect and the Internet of Things. So I'm excited with Iota, but that's just my own personal opinion. I like Iota, at least right now, in terms of like one that I'm trying to aim my investment towards. I'm trying to aim towards Iota right now because I honestly don't think we're going to see Iota at these, what is it, under, like at around 33 cents or something like that. I got a feeling we won't be seeing that type of price for long. But then again, you probably won't be seeing VeChain at around a penny and a half for long. So, you know, it's all up. Everybody's got their opinions on it. That's just mine. I like Iota a little bit more than I like VeChain, but I love VeChain. So that must mean I really like Iota, right? Technology beats the governments. No, yeah, for sure. But yeah, I'm excited for VeChain as well. Yeah, dag nabbit. So if VeChain is a blockchain programming and Iota is DAG programming, then is Iota even technically a crypto? That's what's interesting about it, right? But that's the same thing that you can kind of say for Ripple and XRP, right? I mean, there is a token that's attributed to use in the Tangle processing. That's what I think is interesting with Iota, or Myota, or whatever you want to call it. And VeChain is not, I mean, VeChain is using its VeChain migrated away from the Ethereum platform and now has created its own platform, right? Its own. It's not a proof of work. It's not a blockchain. It's created its own algorithm. I think we're going to be seeing that evolution maybe around 2022 or 2023, where we start not using that term blockchain maybe as much or as often, and we start using those terms of like, you know, what's just the consensus algorithm for it, or what's its how does it reach consensus? What is the way that it decides to reach consensus? How is the token used? How is the coin used in that process? You know, because right now, like a lot of these cryptos, the ones that are really making big waves aren't even really like POW cryptos anymore, right? Like we're seeing XRP and XLM running, right? We're seeing them gain a lot of value, but yet they're not POW systems. So it goes to show that you could, like, even if it's a different version of or algorithm that he uses for consensus, it could still, the token that is representing it could still accumulate, right? I love that, James Roll XRP. That's an awesome big three right there, man. XRP, VET, and XLM. Way to go, dude. But yeah, I just been, maybe it's just like recency bias that I've been getting into it, but I mean, I've looked into VeChain, I've looked into Iota. Hell, I've even done a collage, or like a, not a collage, but a like kind of montagey video on VeChain. So I love VeChain. I have a nice bag of that. I'm just saying, like, through some research that I've been doing, I think I'm starting, and this is my own personal opinion, I'm not trying to like get anybody to hate or anything like that, but I think I'm starting to move over from VeChain over to Iota, and seeing what they're doing there with Iota Tangle. But I'm definitely excited for VeChain, especially if Sunny Liu is serious about that partnership possibility with Ripple, because then you're talking about, you know, that interoperable web, right? Prisoner of wealth, POW. Alright, guys. So, speaking of VeChain and Iota, let's check out their charts, and then we're going to move on to some of this Ripple and ISO 20022 stuff. It's kind of how we do on this channel. We just run all over the place, but, you know, we're hanging out with the Blue Crew, having good times. So as you can see, Iota here, from its initial impulse, went basically down to a very deep retrace, found a found a bounce at a former point of resistance, started coming back up here. I think we were looking at the long-term chart right here for Iota, right? Yeah, had around that 61.8% retrace, started coming back up. I think you're starting to see a little bit of a cup and handle situation here going on for Iota, and hopefully as long as it can stay above this support line, could be good times ahead for Iota. And I'm talking about maybe going to 50 cents down the line, and we'll see if that's going to be coming up for Iota, because it really hasn't even joined the party along with the XLMs and the XRPs out there. So, but the MACD is actually looking pretty good, and the RSI is looking all right, but we'll see how the dailies end up going. We're starting with the green day right here in terms of Iota. We still got 18 hours to see what this daily candle is going to be doing. But yeah, it's nice to see it just break past that point of resistance, and hopefully trying to find a bounce point right up here so we can start going back up to that 45-cent range, to that 50-cent range for Iota. All-time highs for Iota were in, 650, 614, right? Like, that's crazy, man. So, I mean, I'm not saying Iota is going to go back. Like, I'm not going to say without a doubt it's going to go back to all-time highs. But, I mean, if you even get a little bit of that spec, if you even get up to $1.11 or $2, I mean, that's some pretty good gains right there. A lot of XRP people liked XRP initially for that same reason, right? Where they saw how far it went down from its all-time high. They see the inherent value that it does have, right? That it just doesn't make sense for it to be that low, and why not? Maybe it can go back to all-time high. That's how I kind of feel here with Iota. So I think we can start to shoot up to, hopefully we can get to that 50-cent range before we even start talking about trying to go back to all-time highs, because that would be ridiculous if Iota can go up to 630 again. That would be amazing. But I definitely think they have a bigger part in. I think they're one of those ones that is just moving along. Nobody really talks about them, so I'm trying to talk about them. I know a lot of people. There's a lot of people who already do talk about the V chains out there, and maybe not enough people who talk about V chain out there, but definitely fewer people who even talk about Iota. So that's and of course I talk ad nauseum, and I'm going to talk ad nauseum about Ripple and XRP. So if you guys think, oh man, he's become such a fanboy for Iota, no, I'm just trying to share some information with you guys. We're gonna get into this with ISO 20022, and you'll see how bullish I am with with Ripple and XRP, right? So let me go to the ISO 20022 webpage first, give you guys an idea. So about ISO 20022. ISO 20022 is a single standardization approach, methodology, process, repository to be used by all financial standards initiatives. Crap. Sorry guys, forgot about VeChain. I gotta give some love to the VeChain peeps in here. And hell, I want to look at the chart for it too, because we charted some stuff for VeChain as well. So it took us a while to get here, but we hit the target at around 1.6, started retracing. Yeah, so I can take out this target. We already hit it. Let me clean up this chart a bit. Alright, so from the initial impulse up that you had right here for VeChain, I'm just going to go candle close to candle close. You went to the 50% retracement. Hell, you almost even fully retraced, then it got bought back up. Then you had another sell day that took you to the golden retrace zone of the 61.8. You had to bounce back up right there. This could look like a bull flag right here that's actually setting up for VeChain. And your target can take you above 2 cents for VeChain, and then we'll talk there, because there's a major resistance point right there for VeChain. So let me just make that the rooftop right here. We'll see what VeChain's going to want to do, man. It's been consolidating a hell of a long time. I'm happy that this Elliott wave that I charted out ended up bouncing towards the upside, because that's what it is with Elliott waves. They'll either, once it's at that 5th point, it's either going to drop significantly down towards the downside and have another impulse towards the downside, or start its impulse towards the upside. So now maybe we can start charting our wave right here, our impulse wave. Okay, so let's say that was our 5th point. We're going to go from our high to our low, our 1, our 2, our 3. Yeah, man, we might have one burst up to we have another burst left, I feel like, in terms of VeChain. Hopefully that can take us up to 2 cents. That would be some really good times, because I did buy some VeChain recently, despite the hate that I just gave to it in terms of in favor of Iota. But like I said, I love both of them. I'm just I think more in terms of like seeing more like talk about it in terms of these, you know, the IMF or you know, Cisco and these types of things, and like what they're doing, their involvement with the Hyperledger fabric, and seeing that Hyperledger, their Twitter has been talking about Iota still. It's like, can't ignore it, you know, just can't ignore it. But VeChain, excited for as well. Definitely could be a juggernaut. I mean, it's at $0.015. Could be a really bright future. I mean, you're talking about being backed by the Chinese government. If it plays out well, I mean, I think $1 VeChain is definitely not out of the question. I would be, I mean, I can only imagine how James Rule XRP would be for $1 VeChain, dude. He'd probably be on his beachfront property by that time, by the time it even hits 50 cents. J Kill, I'm liking AGI as well, man. AGI's connections with Cardano, and they're connected with Ocean Protocol too, man. So if Ocean Protocol was leading an interledger protocol workshop, then I got a feeling, man, AGI is definitely going to be involved in that Internet of Value, that Internet of Things, or whatever you want to call it, that future where you're just going to have payments, machine payments, whatever, just all over the place, going rapidly. It's not even going to be, probably won't even be able to comprehend it. J Kill, what's up, dude? Hope you're having a good day at work, man, or not working. It is Saturday, but who knows? Some people work on a Saturday. I work on Saturdays sometimes, depending on the set. Guys, thanks for the 29 likes, 21 viewers. You guys are amazing, man. You guys are bringing the heat into this live stream. Van Life Biker, how you doing, man? Also appreciate any new subs to the channel. You guys are awesome. Thank you. Alright, so then now we can go into ISO 20022, a single standardization approach methodology process repository to be used by all financial standards initiatives. So anything, any transaction that is happening is going to be traceable through the ISO 20022 standard. It describes a common platform for the development of messages using a modeling methodology to capture and syntax independent way financial business areas, business transactions, and associated message flows, a central dictionary of business items used in financial system or communications, right? The resulting models and derived messages are published in the catalog of messages stored in the ISO 20022 financial repository, right? A multi-part international standard prepared by ISO Technical Committee TC68 Financial Services, right? Universal Financial Industry Messaging Scheme, right? So keep that in mind, right? So all payments eventually in the future are going to be going through ISO 20022 no matter what. So understanding that already, you have a better understanding of ISO 20022 than most people, and definitely most people in the crypto space, because I really feel people don't understand the gravity of what that means. You're talking about all transactions going through ISO 20022 messaging. All transactions. So what does that mean? That means all Bitcoin transactions. That means all Monero transactions. That means all Zcash transactions going through the ISO 20022 web. Because if it's dealing with money or making a transaction, it needs to be ISO 20022 compliant. It needs to be part of that standard, right? Sean Thompson in the house. What's up, Sean Thompson? Good seeing you, man. Funky Fresh. I think I already have that document set up, my man. Yep, I already have that document set up, but appreciate you, my man. Funky Fresh, by the way, guys. If you guys don't know Funky Fresh 707, this guy is a wealth of information. Please, if you guys have any questions in terms of like stuff in terms of DLT technology or Ripple, I think he's a pretty good guy to try to reach out to and see what's up. Infinite Growth in the house. What's up, man? Home sweet home. Sweet, dude. I love it. Can we invest in ISO 20022? Well, TJ Denton, here we go, man. So it's not something that's going to be sold as a stock, right? This is like a consortium. It's a universal financial industry messaging scheme. And so what can help perpetuate that messaging scheme? What runs on that messaging scheme? What makes it happen, right? So let me just give you another overview of the payments, the members who are part of the ISO 20022 list here. So you have Bank of England, right? You got a lot of names here, but Canada, Brazil, China, Australia, Denmark, ECB, the European Central Bank, which is doing the big bang migration to ISO 20022, right? By 2022. If you guys, I know there's some people in here who you know just recently have been tuning in to this channel, so I used to be all about this. They've delayed it to 2022, unfortunately. Oh, no way. How come it can't load now? What? Don't tell me they took that PDF down, man. That was gold. No. Oh, man, they took it down. Wow, those sons of bitches, dude. I should have saved it. I should have saved it. I can't believe they took that down. That is terrible, man. All right, so basically the migration, though, is the Eurosystem has launched a consolidation project from Target 2 and T2S in the terms of both technical and functional aspects. I know it's a lot of stuff to register, guys, so I'll try to keep it short and sweet. The new RTGS system T2 will offer the market-enhanced and modern services. The messaging standard ISO 20022 will be used, right? The new system will also be able to facilitate payments in several currencies. Another key factor right there. Multiple currencies being able to be part on this new system. Sounds very similar to XRPL, no? Ripple? If so decided by the respective central bank, who central banks are the regulators of their respective countries. So pretty important right here. So then we go to ISO 20022, shaping the future of cross-border payments. And the modern global supply chain revolutionized the shipping industry by standardizing, really key right here. The modern global supply chain revolutionized the shipping industry by standardizing the way cargo is packaged and transported around the world, right? Payment protocols and messaging across the world are fragmented and restrictive due in part to the countries and financial networks all adhering to various standards. This results in closed networks that don't speak to each other, unstructured data, and opaque payments, right? So creating that bridge. The International Standards Organization, ISO, established a universal standard, ISO 20022, in 2004. That's interesting, because Brian Fugger, the creator of Ripple, or what was at the time OpenCoin, was made in 2004 as well. So ISO 20022 was created in 2004 to bring legacy payment infrastructures into the modern world and to help enable global interoperability and an improved customer experience. ISO 20022 is steadily becoming the global standard for the world's cross-border payment flows. Ripple has been a leader in this shift, and our network RippleNet has been aligned with ISO 20022 standards from the start. So wait, Ripple, Ryan Fugger, or Brian Fugger, I forgot if it was Ryan or Brian, created Ripple in 2004, and you're telling me through this article that from the very start you were aligned with ISO 20022 standards when it was only created in 2004? You guys get what I'm saying here? Isn't it convenient that Ripple was created in 2004 and ISO 20022 was created in 2004? Obviously, Bitcoin came along in 2008 and brought along that new form of consensus, and Ripple hadn't really truly become Ripple yet. But nonetheless, they were created in 2004 by Ryan Fugger. So now we're thrilled to share that Ripple is part of the ISO 20022 Registration Management Group standard bodies, and the first member focused. Hey, remember the beauty of that first mover advantage. The first member focused on distributed ledger technology. This membership enables us to meet the needs of 300 plus customers by helping define the future direction of cross-border payment standards to evolve the ISO 20022 standard. Through this membership, Ripple is able to contribute our experience and expertise in the application of the ISO 20022 standard to cross-border payments and its use in the DLT data structures in our standardized API. In fact, Ripple and our customers on RippleNet are pioneers using ISO 20022 for cross-border payments, adoption of ISO 20022 for domestic ACH or real-time gross settlement payments, and have become widespread over the last 10 years, but so far its use by others has been limited in cross-border payments. ISO 20022 is the de facto global data set. Like, people need to know about ISO 20022, man. ISO 20022 is the global or the de facto global data standard for modern payments messaging between financial institutions and payment systems. This is a big deal that Ripple is a part of this, you guys. It's basically saying Ripple is good enough, I mean, to say the least, good enough to execute these ISO 20022 messaging standard formats, right? And the banks that are already on that are basically in line with that initiative, are okay with being, part of that ISO 20022, because all payments are going to be eventually going through ISO 20022. So already adopted domestically in 70 countries, it is estimated that 87% of the global financial transactions will be supported by ISO 20022 by 2023. That's only 3 years away, you guys. This common language helps banks, financial institutions, and systems realize end-to-end processing across domains and geographies, the key element of creating efficient interoperability. And what is the first interoperable digital asset created, you guys? XRPL, XRP Ledger, XRP, right? The first one for interoperability. Obviously, other ones that can do interoperability as well, I think, are going to benefit. And who knows, maybe there are more members that are focused on distributed ledger technology that will join the ISO 20022 Registration Management Group standards body. But right now, so far, it's only Ripple on there. Who knows? Maybe it's going to be XLM. Maybe it's going to be Zinfin. Because we've heard about their compliance with ISO 20022. But right now, it's saying they are the first on there and the only one that's dealing with distributed ledger technology. So structured data streamlines processing cross-border payments, leading to fewer false positives in compliance investigations, as well as stronger regulatory controls. When all networks adhere to the same rules and protocols, payment reach and straight-through processing dramatically improve. So, maybe it is a network of networks, but there is going to be this this ISO 20022 standard is that one standard that all these payment protocols, all these payment companies, all these governments or central banks are going to be lining up towards, right? So achieving very high levels of STP, straight through processing and payments, is an essential prerequisite for the world's digital economy to mature and deliver the benefits to the society and commerce predicted by industry experts, such as machine-to-machine payments, the Internet of Things, smart supply chains, greater financial inclusion. This is because these models all need extremely reliable, high-volume, immediate payments to be effective. ISO 20022 is critical in achieving this. Resiliency is improved through this interoperability because if one part of the system is down, the same standardized data can be used effectively to reroute the transaction Payment reach is also extended due to the increased compatibility between payment providers, and customers will experience faster, more reliable payments with fewer errors and removed transparency. To ensure the shift delivers, or the world is converging on a new global standard and stepping into the future, to ensure the shift delivers full potential, the payments industry must work to continue to drive ISO 20022 adoption. Ripple is in a unique position to help its customers take full advantage of ISO 20022 standards, advising on topics related to messaging and integration, so that customers can simplify the deployment and further reduce operational overhead on RippleNet. So then, let's take a look at what we love to look at is the W3C members list, right? Because a majority of them are implementing the ILP. And check who's part of that World Wide Web consortium. Where are they? Well, you have IBM there as well, but here you go. The ISO 20022 Registration Authority, right? So maybe the ISO 20022 Registration Authority is also implementing ILP, right? So then, what? Dang it. What was oh yeah. So then I have this video here, and check out what it says right here in this video. I'm gonna lower the volume on the music and then put this up because pay attention. Look at what it's already saying in here. The clearinghouse's real-time payments. Real-time payments provide businesses and consumers the ability to send and receive funds immediately 24/7, 365. The coming of the ISO 20022 revolution, ISO 20022 formatting. What is the only way that you can achieve 24/7, 365 days of year in terms of fast messaging, quick messaging and quick payments, real-time messaging, immediate notifications, and also that pre-disclosure rules that the sender knows how much the receiver is going to be receiving beforehand or whatnot, right? The exchange rates and whatnot, all that info. Only way that can happen is through, I mean, obviously XLM is doing its own thing, but I mean, come on guys. XRPL has been around a lot longer. XLM is definitely growing without a doubt, but it still has to go through some trial periods, I would imagine. And I think it's definitely going to be playing a big part, but I'd like to think that right here, the ISO 20022 standard, since we have the proof that Ripple is part of that standards body and the only one involved with distributed ledger technology, I think ISO 20022 is secretly, you know, I hate to say it, but like interledger protocol or something to do with Ripple and XRP, without a doubt, because that's the only way you can achieve these standards of a 24/7, 365 days real-time messaging, you know, interoperable payments using various currencies, right? So let me lower this music and check out what this guy has to say right here. All right. Let me know if you guys can hear him.
Large institutional business client, like a large corporate, a brokerage investment firm, a small business, or a consumer, you know, through some sort of, you know, mobile application, for example. You have to tie these pieces together. You can't have these siloed solutions that continue to stand there. So how do you get a small business or a large corporation access to RTP and Wire and check and ACH and Zelle messaging and new networks in other countries, and you continue to grow and expand that? So it's the interesting part is we saw ISO 20022 as kind of the clear route to be the framework to kind of let us move down that path in the most efficient manner.
So what was he talking about, right? The type of jargon, the same type of script that we hear coming from Ripple, right? All these silos, and there has to be something that sticks them together, that bridges them together, and it's going to be this ISO 20022 standard, right? And you know, if you guys are saying, I don't know, man, this might be a little bit of a reach, though, that it's exactly XRP or Ripple that is being necessarily used, even though Ripple is involved with this. So then if you look at who the speakers are,
Common global
who are these
implementation.
3 speakers right here? Nazreen Grubria, I feel bad for killing her name right there, but she's part of the Nacha, which is a Ripple partner. Carl Slabicki, BNY Mellon, part of the Ripple Net. Volante, part of the Ripple Net, speaking. So 3 members, 3 for 3, that are definitely associated with Ripple, right? And it makes sense because they're part of the ISO 20022 standards body, so it just wouldn't make sense if they didn't know of each other. So then, you know, I got to show you guys some proof of that, right? So BNY Mellon, reinventing payments, even a Ripple article written about them, right? Advises collaboration as we reinvent payments, right? Can check out this article if you guys would like, but enable payments across payment networks with Interledger. Huh, interesting. Look at that, what they're talking about. While various organizations and consortiums are working on blockchain standards, there is yet no true blockchain standard, which also impedes progress. Ripple's Interledger protocol aims to solve this challenge by enabling diverse ledgers to seamlessly interact with each other, right? Stitching those silos together, stitching payment businesses, banks all together, right? And then right here with Ripple Labs joins Nacha Alliance, right? And then Volante, the Volpay Ripple processor module, speeds integration to the global settlement network for Ripple. Huh. So then the 3 people who are talking here, talking about ISO 20022 standards, are all associated with Ripple. And then let me continue, right? So then I go to this thing right here, and you see how BNY Mellon and Volante know each other and announced that they had been collaborating to enable BNY Mellon to become the first bank to successfully originate a real-time payment over the clearinghouse's new real-time RTP network. And what is the clearinghouse, right? FIS and the clearinghouse provide quick payment solutions. FIS, a partner of Ripple, has partnered with the clearinghouse for bringing real-time payments to the United States financial institutions and banks. Together, they will provide the U.S. banks as well as their customers with quick and convenient real-time payment solutions. And how can you do that? How can you send money as fast as you can send a message? Through the use of a digital asset, through the use of RippleNet or Interledger protocol, through the use of XRP. Oh, but it doesn't stop there, because I always have to like keep backing it up with more stuff, right? So then let me go back to that presentation. Who's speaking there? Nazreen Quibria, right? So we're going to go down the line of these 3 speakers. I couldn't find anything for Vinay Prabhakar, so I feel bad about that. But he's actually just the product marketing guy, or vice president of product marketing. But couldn't find anything with him talking about Ripple there. But I found something with Nazreen, and check this out. She did, she was saying cross borders, key payment systems outside of the U.S. And, Ripple is a global company, so on the last page, she names all these things for payment trends in the UK, right? The drive to faster payments, adoption of ISO 20022 standards. Look at all those countries that are adopting or going live with ISO 20022 standards. I think their goal is near the end of 2022 to have a majority of the Eurozone, at least, migrated fully to ISO 20022 standards. And then so you start going into cross-border efficiencies, and she talks about Swift here. Here, I'll show you her slide on bigger page here. Right? So other considerations as well. International consumer protection laws. So then she talks about players enabling cross-border payments. The Fed Global ACH. We know now that the Federal Reserve is part of the ISO 20022 standards body, so that kind of doesn't matter anymore. PayPal PayPal, starting to jump into crypto right now as well. I don't think she knew about that at this time. And then Earthport, Ripple partner right here, is a regulated global financial services specializing in cross-border payments. So basically mentioning like twice Ripple. And then her last slide, guys, or second to last slide or whatever, her last slide brings up Ripple. Stop it, G. I'm getting frisky. I feel you, Fab. I feel you, man. This is hard stuff to deny. If you're a Ripple XRP hater, this is very tough to deny. It's very tough. So then, yeah, look at this. From this, it says right here. You probably can't see it because my camera's, or I'm blocking it. So here, let me give you guys a full screen look. Then right here she says from this, so this is the way corresponding banking relationships currently work, right? Federal Reserve to the ECB, corporate bank here, Fedwire here, no short debit, target to blah, like a lot of steps, right? And then to this instant and bilateral. What did I just do? Instant and bilateral funds transfer and FX, market makers, funds on Ripple, built on Ripple, right? These guys are the payment network operators, right? And then if you look at the FPC advisory group, you got, what is it? Juniper Payments, American Express, US Bank, Wells Fargo, Nacha, Netflix is in there, Federal Reserve System, Goldman Sachs, right? You're not seeing, I mean, obviously Stellar is a non-profit foundation, but I'm not seeing IBM in here, right? Not that they need to be though, right? Shout out to the Luminauts out there. I do like lumens, don't get me wrong. But, you know, we're talking about Ripple here in the ISO 20022 format, right? Which we do know the only one part of that standardized body is Ripple right now. I don't see Stellar or lumens there. That's why we're not bringing it up there. Sorry guys, it's been a lot. It's been a lot that I've been trying to talk about and trying to keep short. So here we go. Shaping the future of cross-border payments. The world is converging on a new global standard, the ISO 20022, to help enable this next step in global interoperability, meet the evolving needs of our customers. Ripple is now part of the ISO 20022 standards body, the first member focused on distributed ledger technology. Join us in this shift to the future. Learn more about ISO 20022 and how Ripple is helping shape the new world of payments, all while reducing operational overhead, right? And so once again, on this list, you got the Accentures, you got the DTCC. So the two thought leaders of the Hyperledger Consortium are in this, right? MasterCard again as well, Deutsche Bank, Bank of Japan, MUFG Bank. You know, a lot of connections that we've seen here with Ripple, for sure. Barclays, the Clearinghouse, big part. Federal Reserve Bank of New York, Gina Russo, right? And then you got Ripple in there as well. Ian Monk, and I think there's some other representatives from Ripple here as well. So then let me just catch up and get a little bit of a breather here. Oh shit. Okay, what did you guys miss? Sorry about that. I totally forgot that I totally forgot that I had the music up, man. Shit. Okay. My bad, guys. We didn't hear a word of it. Okay. Oh man. What did you guys not hear a word of? I wonder. Let me see. It was probably everything, right? So Nazarene Guibera, Nacha, right? She did a slide right here, presentation of Ripple. Talks about Ripple in her last slide. God, I hate it when that happens, man. When I go back to playing the music and then I totally forget to bring the volume down. But it happens. Earthport, she brings up Earthport, a Ripple partner right here. And then she brings up Ripple's solution in her second to last slide right here. So Nazarene, talking about ISO 20022 revolution right here for Volante Technologies on their YouTube channel. All three of these, or two of three of these people have connections to Ripple. Obviously, the companies they represent are connected with Ripple in some way. 3 for 3 on those, and yet they're the ones who are leading this presentation about ISO 20022 migration, right? So then we go over here. The world is converging on a new global standard, ISO 20022. To help enable this next step in global interoperability meet the evolving needs, Ripple is now part of the ISO 20022 standards body and the first member focused on distributed ledger technology, right? So the DPS released this, and they were saying Ripple's involvement in ISO 20022, a step towards wider acceptance in the banking industry, announced that it has become the ISO 20022 standards body, a multi-part international standard set to replace Swift's current empty messages. Huh. ISO 20022 set to replace Swift's current empty messages and aimed at a single standardized approach, methodology, process, repository to be used by all financial standards initiatives. ISO 20022 creates a common language and a model for payments data globally, aiming to provide high-quality data and therefore high-quality payments, in particular for cross-border and high-value payments. This makes Ripple the first company focused on distributed ledger technology to join the new global payments forum, right? According to the Ripple, the world is converging on that new global standard, right? So then, give me a second. Let me try to find. Oh, okay. So then I want to go back to this video, right? And we don't need to listen to this video, but I just want to show you a few images of what I thought was pretty interesting right here.
That was launched in early 2000.
All right, so they give a history. Maybe this isn't the one. Damn. Give me a sec. This is it. So check this out. Actually, yeah, let's just check out this video. Why not? I mean, we're hanging out.
world, markets and payment streams are becoming more and more complex. 50 years ago, goods transport found an answer to this development. The solution was a harmonization and standardization of shipping containers to the ISO norm. The Swiss Financial Center is taking a similar route with the harmonization of payment transactions in accordance with ISO standard 20022. The ISO container created standards through uniform measurements, which offer the highest possible level of efficiency when loading, transporting, and storing goods. Previously, differing formats and standards made freight transport more difficult. This starting position is similar to the current situation for payment transactions. Here too, the new ISO standard will ensure that differing procedures, standards, and formats will soon be a thing of the past. The path to
So do you see that image? I'll play the rest of the video, but I want you guys to see what that means. What this image right here means, right? Because we've been looking at a lot of documents that show, like, you know, RippleNet and all these fragmented payment systems, Wang Lian, for example, coming out from China. All these payment providers are now starting to migrate to that messaging standard, right? To this one, like, universal type of thing. In the same, like with Wang Lian, in terms of the Chinese payment providers like Alibaba and Lian Pay and WeChat Pay and whatnot, they have to now share their information with their central banks in order to further increase security and avoid anti-money laundering, right? Or to avoid money laundering. So they have more AML rules set in place in terms of Wang Lian, which I think is like kind of China's form of interledger protocol or whatever. That's what's going on right here with ISO 20022, is you're seeing what the shipping container did for goods, ISO 20022 is going to be doing for payments, right? And RippleNet is is looking to do that for payments as well, right? Is looking to attach or bridge all these silos to create a common framework.
The new
So now think about that in terms of blockchain payments. All payments are going to have to eventually, no matter what, go through the ISO 20022 standard. You get it? You guys get what I'm trying to say here? Is like, no matter what type of blockchain you're using, and it's going to go through ISO 20022 standards according to the banks or these institutions or these payment providers that are enabling it. And then DLT, the only DLT that's so far involved with ISO 20022 or on the standards body for ISO 20022 is Ripple and XRP. I understand Zinfin's going to maybe do something with it. I understand XLM might be able to do something with it. But so far, what we are seeing is only XRP. And what is Moja Loop, right? With Interledger Protocol, that one loop. What have we been seeing in terms of that? In terms of like some of these symbolisms that we're seeing from movies as well. That one ledger, right? A global ledger. The one ring to rule them all, right? And now they say, I don't think there's going to be one blockchain to rule them all or one network to rule them all. But damn, if you're talking about a payment standard, yeah, they just said it's better if there's one for all, because then it improves that efficiency, right? And it enables that level playing field, since everybody will be using that same standard. It doesn't. Now you're asking yourselves as a company or as a bank or anything to provide for your customers even more, and it's going to be about how do you provide to your customers? What type of products are you creating for them? Not so much in terms of the competitiveness, in terms of exchange rates or transactions or anything like that, right? So then let's continue.
ISO standard will ensure that differing procedures, standards, and formats will soon be a thing of the past. The path to harmonized payment transactions consists of 4 stages. In the first phase, up to the end of 2017, transfer procedures and direct debits will be converted. In Phase 2, by 2020, the Swiss Financial Center will introduce a new uniform in-payment slip with data code. With this itinerary, we can reach our destination together. How must you be active as business professionals? Many factors influence the way in which harmonization affects your accounts payable, receivable, and payroll processes, as well as IT solutions. For instance, whether you use standard software or an individual software solution. Let's take a look at ISO 20022 conversion using accounts payable as an example. As a company, you use standard software for your accounts payable. Your software partner has already integrated the new transfer procedure in their software and offers you an update accordingly. The transfer of payment orders to and notifications from PostFinance or your bank will then be structured in the international ISO standard. For this, you'll be required to enter all account numbers of your suppliers in IBAN format in all your IT solutions. Regardless of whether you use standard software or an individual solution, we recommend that you contact your software partner in good time to discuss the procedure. Just as the successive containers managed to make freight transport more efficient, so too will the new ISO 20022 standard for payment transactions in Switzerland. Analyze and optimize your accounts payable, receivable, and payroll processes in good time and benefit from harmonization. This way you will be best equipped for the future. If you have any questions, please contact your bank or PostFinance. We will be happy to provide you with information and accompany you along the journey towards harmonized payment transactions. You can find more information on the upcoming journey at migration-pt.ch.
All right, so that's, getting a better idea of what ISO 20022 is, right? And so I posted this stuff on, oh, appreciate you, J Kill, man. You rock, man. Thanks for sharing that, dude. So then check out this article that I ended up finding, and I kind of made a little bit of a thread connecting two different websites with it, but some of the quotes that I thought were pretty good were, oh, let me get back on here, say what's up to everybody. Yo. The demand for Ripple's cryptocurrency XRP is set to skyrocket as Ripple currently relies on the power of the ISO 20022 standardization within RippleNet. So inside of RippleNet, and they already said from the beginning, from the very start, they already had ISO 20022 standards in mind. So that makes it even more welcoming to these banks to want to join the RippleNet, because they're like, oh, you're already using that standard. You've already implemented that standard that we're looking to use, or that we have to migrate over, right? So then the adoption of ISO 20022 will mean that whether a bank, and this is really key, I want, like, if you guys want to pay attention, I mean, check this out. The adoption of ISO 20022 will mean that whether a payment is made in dollars over Fedwire, in renminbi via the People's Bank of China, which is a really big involvement in Wang Lian, right? I'll show you guys Wang Lian in just a second. The adoption of ISO 20022 will mean that whether a payment is made in dollars over Fedwire, in renminbi via the People's Bank of China, or from euros to rand along SWIFT, a single unique payment standard will be used, creating a faster and cheaper payments channel. The ISO 20022 membership will allow customers to utilize RippleNet to access a network of global financial institutions and connect to one standardized API for all counterparty connections. I mean, what do you guys think of that, man? Right? Central banks strike back against Bitcoin, and I think this is what their death blow is going to be. ISO 20022 is a new standard for communicating instructions for electronic payments between financial institutions, and by 2030, a lot of goals for 2030, by the way. By 2030, it's expected it will be the standard globally and could give the central banks the last laugh, leapfrogging their own current slow-moving payment standards to speeds that will deter the use of their decentralized counterparts. The ISO 20022 standard will be a common language of payment requests and orders globally and is set to be completely integrated by all centralized financial institutions by 2030. The ISO 20022 will set a uniform standard and make life much easier for standard centralized payment providers, one in particular expected to make a huge comeback, which is felt the brunt of crypto transactions in the developing world, is the Society for World Bank Intrabank Financial Telecommunication, or SWIFT. Right? They talk about SWIFT will adopt the ISO 20022 standard by the near end of 2022, right? And turning off its legacy format completely by 2025. We do know that R3 is running the SWIFT GPI, right? One of the big advantages of a universal payment language is that banks, businesses, and governments, not multiple universal payment languages, not plural, a universal payment language, in that banks, businesses, governments, and other actors no longer have to contend with supporting multiple formats. For example, suppose we are not customers of the same bank. In this case, there is a transaction between our respective banks. The United States, these transactions are processed through Fedwire or the clearinghouse interpayment system. CHIPS, centralized entities that debit one's bank account and credit another's when an interbank settlement is made. The adoption of ISO 20022 will mean that whether a payment is made in dollars over Fedwire, renminbi, right? I already said that line, creating a faster and cheaper payments channel. The ISO 20022 uniform standard of global payments will also be arriving at the same time that 24/7 instant retail payments are being introduced by central banks all over the world. What enables those 24/7 payments, man? Since the inception of Bitcoin, blockchain advocates have dismissed centralized payment systems as ancient and outdated, but ISO 20022 means that description will most likely no longer suit in the years to come. However, it could give one cryptocurrency a huge advantage over all others. Ripple XRP, right? Ripple ahead of Coinbase in terms of market evaluation. The demand for Ripple's cryptocurrency XRP is set to skyrocket, as Ripple currently relies on the power of the ISO 20022 standards within RippleNet. XRP will potentially benefit massively once all centralized authorities adopt the ISO 20022 standard. This was written in September 29, 2020, by the way. Less than 5 years till retirement. Exactly, my man. TJ Denton, man, I'm loving that bullishness, dude. What's up to everybody in the live stream, by the way? So then I think there's some other articles here. Give me a second. Oh no, that was the Iota stuff. Yeah, I think that's pretty good on the ISO 20022 for now, man. I think you guys are getting it, right? So let me show you guys Wang Lian really quick so you guys can understand what Oh yeah, well, Ripple has spoken with the People's Bank of China, which is interesting, and they did mention that a target of theirs is China, right? I'm just trying to find Wang Lian here for a second. Oh, oh, that's why. Okay. Yeah, Wang Lian, People's Bank of China. Give me a second, guys. I didn't set up any of this Wang Lian stuff, so I need to... Okay, so the new clearing platform for all of China's digital payments, better known as Wang Lian, right? Alipay is part of it, Tenpay is part of it, WeChat Pay is part of it, Lian Pay is part of it. There's another document that actually like shows it a lot better. It's basically Wang Lian and all China's payments providers connected to it, right? So it looks like a one uniformed ledger, right? So now what I want to figure out here is, does it have ISO 20022, right? And then look at this. I mean, it doesn't get any better, man. China leads, or I mean, it only gets better. China leads the way in adoption of ISO 20022 for payments, right? And what's the only one that's dealing with distributed ledger technology, right? I think we found our in through Wang Lian here, you guys. I think we found our in. Already uses ISO 22 and seen rapid adoption. Over 200 banks used in the system. Developed ISO 20022 messages covering post-trade foreign exchange activities. Right? And what's the only DLT involved with that? Let me check out the W3C if People's Bank of China is part of the W3C's members list, because that would just be the cherry on top. But I mean, honestly, that is the cherry on top, is seeing that China is leading in ISO 20022 messaging. But let me see if we can find People's Bank of China in here. They're already on the ISO standards body, so we already saw them there. No People's Bank of China here on the web W3C, unfortunately. But there are other Chinese businesses here, I think. Let me see. Yeah, Chinese Academy of Sciences, Chinese Mobile Communications Corporation, right? Where was it that we saw People's Bank of China? I think it was here, right? Yeah. Ant Financial Services Group as well. Let me see if we got the PBOC up in here. No, not seeing. Let me just see. People's Bank. Nope. I think they were part of another group. But anyways, I mean that's pretty good proof enough, though, right? I would say so. I need to organize it a little bit better. I understand. But yeah, guys, that was a lot to go through. Appreciate y'all. Thank you guys for sitting through that. Let's get the music back on. Let's hang out. Maybe play some Blancos. What do you guys say? Maybe play some Blancos? Or do you guys want to look at some charts? I think you guys would probably want to look at charts. Let me see. TJ, I appreciate you, man. I know it's like I know I have like ADHD, and it's just like it goes all over the place. You know, I try to keep it consistent and coherent, and it's tough, but you know, hopefully I gave you guys enough information to just chew on. Hopefully you guys do your own research, of course. Don't take what I say as like gospel or truth or anything like that. But you know, this is the type I'm just sharing with you guys what I've discovered and I'm seeing. And if this ISO 20022 standard is going to be running a majority of payments by 2023, they said 87% of total payments will be going through ISO 20022 standard, and it's going to do for money what the shipping container did for goods, the standard of the shipping container did for goods. What do you think that's going to be doing to the global financial payment system, which we know DLT, the only one involved with DLT in that standards body, is Ripple for now. Who knows, maybe there's some more to come, right? We do have let me see some IBM talk about ISO 20022. Give me a sec. I just have to type it. I don't even have to go through my tabs here. So IBM has been talking about ISO 20022 for some time. Oh, I can't find that one anymore, huh? So they talked about it. They were talking about it way back in the day in like 2016. Unfortunately, we can't see that right now. But you see, IBM is involved with this ISO 20022 standards as well. It's providing support for the migration there from Target and Euro 1. So IBM's Financial Transaction Manager, and then these are like one of the things that makes me think it could be possibly Stellar, right? Delivers a more complete solution that offers multiple payment types through a central payments processing system, right? That key word, central payments processing system. Operational efficiency, whatnot, right? High value payment system. So I wonder if they're trying to involve Stellar in this somehow. But, you know, the facts are right now, the only one that is involved in terms of distributed ledger technology on the ISO 20022 standards body right now is XRP. I do like Zinfin. I know I own some Zinfin. I know Zinfin is also compliant with ISO 20022, but for now, the facts are on the ISO 20022 page, what we're seeing in terms of their members. I'm not seeing Zinfin on here. I don't even think I see R3 on here, to tell you the truth. I see members of Hyperledger on here like Accenture and DTCC, but I don't see, you know, any other type of distributed ledger technology or blockchain or anything like that involved here. I'm just seeing a bunch of Ripple partners and Ripple in here. That's basically what I'm seeing here for ISO 20022. But guys, thanks for those 38 likes. That's awesome, man. I'm happy you guys like enjoyed the video or enjoyed that little presentation there. Now we're just hanging out. Yep, exactly, my man. TJ Denton, dude, he's getting excited, man. Oh, here we go. Funky Fresh, my man. The session is a primer on everything you need to know ahead of the start of the migration to ISO 20022 for cross-border payments and reporting in November 2022. Exactly. Dude, I wish I could show you guys that ECB's Big Bang migration, because it's an awesome PDF and it shows you all their dates of when they expect users to start migrating or choosing their payment providers or whatnot for the Euro systems migration to the ISO 20022 standard. Too bad they finally, you know, probably caught on to some people are paying attention and you know, stopped posting it or stopped having it up. But Funky Fresh, dude, I can't wait to look into this a little bit deeper and maybe we bring it up in a future video. Thanks for sharing, my man. But yeah, check out this is what we're looking at right here in front of me is the link that Funky Fresh just shared. There's this video as well that I think is going to be interesting in terms of talking about like setting that level playing field, because that's what this ISO 20022 standard does, is set the level playing field, right? So where you don't have to worry about, you know, oh man, this institution has a better exchange rate than I do, or they're getting a cheaper payment or providing cheaper payments or whatnot, right? So give me a sec. Just trying to find that one video that I think SCR, right? Yeah, here we go. All right, so check out right here. I think this is actually worth looking at, like the whole video in terms of Christine Lagarde, but I'll just share this video with you guys. I'll just try to skip to the good part here, because this is kind of an old video and we are in different times right now, but you can just kind of see in the beginning the intentions of what the plan was being set right here. So give me a second to set this all up. Okay, so I think it's around midway point here. This is about the significance of the yuan's inclusion to the SDR. So this is when Christine Lagarde was the managing director of the IMF. So let's check it out.
Show you in the last couple of years to make sure that the renminbi was properly included, that all the reforms concerning the financial markets in particular and the supervision had taken place, and we are gratified for all this work that was put into it.
You know, the Chinese authority has been taking a series of reform to pushing the internationalization of RMB. Mm-hmm. Then let's say if the full mark is 100, how you would score their job?
You know, if I take all the reforms that have been conducted, the compressed time within which they did it, the excellency of our cooperation, the ranking is very high. You know, nothing and nobody is perfect in this world, but I would rank in the top 10%.
What exactly the world may benefit from a more globalized RMB in your mind?
Okay, so now we're getting to the questions. So she's saying, what do you think, how do you think people are going to benefit from a more globalized RMB in your mind?
Yeah. Well, first of all, it's a currency that actually denominates the value of various bonds, various portfolios. It's a currency that is regarded as exchangeable between central banks and which is acknowledged by the BIS. So it's really a value of reference. And the fact that the renminbi is now included and that we have 5 currencies in the basket is very helpful in order to spread the risks, in order to manage the risk, in order to hedge against the risk. And, you know, we don't need too much risk. We would rather have stability and predictability, which I think will be helped by having a broader and more solid basket of currencies.
With regard to the risk, one is the possible competitive devaluation of currency. You have any say on that issue?
You know, the G20 leaders, which includes, of course, China, the United States, many European countries, India, Russia, and so on and so forth, have all committed not to use currency as one of their competitive attributes and not to enter into that you know, depreciation approach to their competitiveness, which I think is the right thing to do, because competitiveness should result from other factors, not from the currency. Currencies are there to exchange. They need to be as stable as possible. They need to be as reflective as possible of the state of an economy, but they cannot be used as a tool of competitiveness, so to speak. So I'm very pleased to see that the G20 leaders have reiterated that commitment and are not using currency as a competitive advantage.
So, as you can see, they don't want competitiveness amongst all these currencies. They want to provide a stability. They want to have a broader scope of currencies in their basket to limit risks, right? Provide more stability, right? And seeing that the G20 has committed to, you know, even though we are seeing crazy devaluations of currency globally, we're seeing all these currencies getting devalued for a certain reason. I think they understand they're going to be migrating over to ISO 20022, but they need to provide that like illusion of a reason why they need to migrate over, right? So now you have all these currencies in that G20 or in the IMF basket, or in their SDR basket. You have the majority of the G20 or the G20 agreeing to not compete in terms of currencies. So what is that going to open up to, right? That's that level playing field where you're not competing in terms of currencies anymore. Then what are you competing with then? Or what are you trying to provide competition for now? You're trying to provide better, either better products, better services to your customers or to your people, to your economy, right? You're trying to not let the currency really well, you want the currency to reflect the economy, but you don't want it to be used as a mechanism for competition with other countries as well. So that's where you're seeing that level playing field, and that's where this ISO 20022 standard is going to be coming in. And Funky Fresh just left an awesome comment here that he says the timeline for the ISO 20022 is shown in here. So that's great, because that's what the ECB was showing on their migration PDF that unfortunately they don't have listed anymore. JR Shields, what's up, dude? Good seeing you, man. Brad Stevenson, good seeing you too, man. What's up? So we're going to check out JR Shields' video right here really quick and just try to go through that timeline. You guys are awesome, man. I appreciate everything you do to this channel, man. When we moon, I'm going to buy you a moon gift. Dude, TJ, that's awesome, man. Crazy stuff, dude. All right, so let's check out this video. It's a 23-minute video, so I'll just
API
try to jump over to the
payment
timeline.
to the next bank in a chain or the market infrastructure
Okay.
across time.
Paula.
Good morning, Andrew. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for having me here and giving me the opportunity. I'm sure you would agree with me, cross-border payments are functioning today, aren't they? Data provided with the payment is
Okay, so she's saying focusing on unresolved pain points, which you have reconciliation challenge, limited messaging structure, high ratio of false positive hits, low straight through processing rates, right? They want to get all those up, right? And you're seeing how many banks it has to go through. So in order for it to go to the originator to the beneficiary, it's got to go through all these other banks, all these messages that have to be sent.
off names to have with a
I
provision.
can't wait to check out this whole video, by the way. I definitely want to hear what she's saying, but I'm just trying to get through to see what the timeline is here. So on the way to harmonize cross-border payments, there you go. ISO 20022 right there. Increased interoperability, enhanced compliance, due diligence, higher automation, less exceptions and investigations, rich and structured
of rich
data,
payment data along published on SWIFT.
Greatest industry collaboration in recent years, cross-border payments and reporting plus,
web application,
strong guidance and definition of the new messaging standard.
My standards, PMPG for them. Yeah, my advice.
Okay, so
In our asked question is only use score NDM that we do get a lot is what resources am I going to need? So let's focus on what the infrastructure changes are that you are definitely going to need to plan for. And we'll start at the bottom of the slide and work up, if that's okay with you. You will need an interface device that will connect to the new FinPlus service, which is an interact service, which will carry and validate the CBPR plus messages.
okay, so let's see if we can find anything with FinPlus. What is FinPlus here? Maybe you know something about FinPlus, Funky Fresh. Let me just type it down. No, nothing with FinPlus here that I can see. Alright, let's just continue going. Okay, so he does this presentation. I need to look at this a little bit more in depth.
If you want to use CB, all of that. Big question, of course, of the adoption.
Okay, so here's the adoption timeline, the phases. So 2021 to 2022. Near the end of 2023. And then from there on, yeah, you got more adoption. A majority of members probably transferred over already. And look at that. Yeah, you got your customer documentation roadmap, right? All the way through to then. Talking about SwiftNet, ISO 20022. Swift's not even going to be Swift anymore, man. Coexistence measures. APIs right there that we just saw. Standard API is what it's all about, right? Can't wait to check this more, like check out this whole video, actually. Funky Fresh, appreciate it, man. Just gonna minimize it there for a bit. But yeah, guys, I just want to stress, I think some people are underestimating ISO 20022 and what it means, and then the distributed ledger technologies that are involved with the ISO 20022, I certainly think are a bigger deal than what we're giving them credit for, right? And let's just check out this PayID Ripple Insights article right here, because PayID I think is going to have a part to play as well in this. Okay, so yeah, trying to send a message or you know, a photo in seconds, or you know, trying to send money in seconds is nothing compared to like how you send messages and whatnot. So I think right here is pretty interesting though. Tomorrow's payment network will be open. So it's not saying tomorrow's payment networks. It's saying tomorrow's payment network will be open. In the near future, a single, not multiple, in the near future, a single global payment network will enable anyone to easily pay any person or business instantly Everyone everywhere will tap into the power of the network dozens of times a day, sending payments both large and small. Payments will no longer run over fragmented networks using proprietary standards to complicated account numbers, but rather they will use a united network in which all payment companies participate, one built for today's consumers and businesses. To achieve this vision, Ripple today joins over 40 companies, and I'm sure it's going to be growing as well, on the Open Payments Coalition, launching PayID, the Universal Payment Identifier. PayID is a free and open standard that allows for interoperability between payment networks. So just further reinforcing that ISO 20022 standard and enabling more and more bridges to any types of these internetworking things or networks, payment systems, banks. Have you ever seen iPet Go to? Oh, dude, yeah, Abe, I definitely have. I've been trying to find correlations to that short film in terms of what's going on with Ripple or XRP. I haven't found it just yet, so that's why I don't bring it up. But yeah, dude, that's a crazy, crazy film, man. iPet Go 2 is insane, and the people who really look into it deep, like Enter the Stars or Enter the Stars Reloaded, I really like his YouTube channel. Unfortunately, he deals with like YouTube copyright or, you know, YouTube regulation like all the time. But yeah, Abe, I've heard of it for sure. Hope, yeah, it is pretty nice, right? Where all the blue crew can just hang out here. Holly Molly, how you doing? Guys, appreciate you. Thanks for tuning in. I think I'm gonna end it here, guys. We've been streaming for, I don't know, how long have we been streaming? We've been streaming for a bit, so I think I'm just gonna end it here, guys. Let me get some music on though. Good hanging with y'all. I'll try to stream maybe tomorrow morning, if not for sure tomorrow night, and we'll hang out and maybe play some blankos on a Sunday. Berserker, you rock, man. I want to give a shout out to everybody in the chat, so let me just go to the top of the chat and work my way down here. I may end up relapsing repeatedly. Wow, I didn't get to see that one. Van Life Biker, we are all here for you. Oh, you rock, man. Alright, so far, I don't know if I got to go all the way up to the top of the chat here. It's just giving me what the live chat is giving me, so I'll just start shouting out some peeps. Berserker, Van Life Biker. By the way, guys, Van Life Biker has his own YouTube channel. Great content if you guys want to check it out. Berserker, Infinite Growth, Lady Enigma. Lady Enigma's got her own YouTube channel now. Ooh, Lady Enigma. Daniel XRP, XRP Bags, Infinite Growth, Daniel XRP once again. Who else do we got? Sky Houston. What's up, Sky Houston? I noticed you take out that XRP there, man. But good seeing you, Sky Houston. Brad Stevenson. I think Sky Houston's got his own YouTube channel as well. Funky Fresh 707, always dropping the gold in the chat. Fab, appreciate you. Sean Thomas. Sean Thompson, I mean, sorry. Saying, okay, GDLT knows his stuff, like McDonald's, I'm loving it. Oh man, I don't know if I know it all, man, but you know, I'm just showing you guys what I'm seeing. Oh, by the way, I think I passed a Fancy Pants XRP 43. Here's a wrench, my man. Todd L was yelling at me about the music earlier. I'm sorry about that, guys. I'm trying to get better at that. Sometimes I forget though, and I forget to look at the chat, so my bad. But Todd L, I think you have a wrench already, man, because it's not letting me give you a wrench, so. Hope, appreciate you tuning in. TJ Denton, of course, man. Thank you so much for the support. Jay Kill, appreciate you, my man. Hope you're doing well, dude, on your side of the world. Who else do we got here? Todd L. We didn't hear any word of it. I love that part, man. Everybody's just like, we can't hear shit, yo. Oh, you guys are crazy, man. I feel bad, man. I feel bad. It's just hard. It's hard sometimes to, you know, you get in a flow and sometimes you forget, man. Ecnofo, appreciate you, man. Anybody got any last minute questions? Legendary, appreciate you. Abe, thank you, man. Leland Evans, good seeing you, brother. Who else do we got in here, man? Guys, dude, thanks so much for the support. 43 likes, 22 viewers. Thanks so much, man. And thanks for any new subscribers to the channel. And thanks for the donations as well. Much love to y'all. You guys are awesome, man. Always good hanging out with the Blue Crew. Always. It's amazing, man. We're making a good little community here. Got the Blue Crew. Let me see. I think that's it. I think that's all the names. JR Shields. Yep, there you go, dude. Shout out to JR Shields. And I think that is... Oh, Hope. Thank you. Mark E. Are you doing the Spark airdrop? Mark E on certain... Like, for example, I'm not going to set up the Spark airdrop on my ledger because I don't know if the safety about that really in terms of setting up the Spark airdrop for my ledger. But in terms of like on Celsius, yeah, I'm going to be doing the Spark airdrop for that. What other ones? BitTrue, I'll be doing Spark airdrop on that. So yeah, I definitely am supporting Spark airdrop for sure. I don't know. I still need to understand more about it. I know the days are getting close and close, but yeah, I'm hearing so much from both sides. Like some people thinking it's a little bit shady, some people thinking not. I don't know, man. I'm trying to get my crypto off, like a majority of my crypto off exchanges, and at least having it to like trusted, or what I think is like trusted platforms like Kraken or Ledger, the Ledger Nano S, obviously having it on a hardware wallet. But yeah, Marquis, I got to definitely look into it more because then we can talk more with the Blue Crew and everything and get everybody's opinions about Spark. All in all, I'm excited. Maybe I'm just being afraid because I see XRP as so valuable in my eyes that, you know, maybe it's just like another airdrop, dude. I thought it was pretty interesting though that Kraken doesn't support any airdrops anyway, but I think that was definitely interesting that they're not supporting the airdrop. But I will be getting Subspark either way. I need a hardware wallet for XDC if you know any. Abe, I don't. Unfortunately, I wish RPM was in this chat because RPM would be the guy to talk to about that, man. There is an XDC wallet that I have on my phone. I have the XDC wallet on there, and that's where I have my XDC for now. But I don't have it on a hardware wallet for now. Oh, SafePal. There we go. Berserker, you're the man, dude. Oh, and TJ Denton. I didn't know that, man. I'll shout you out too, man. He's got a YouTube channel right there. Definitely gonna subscribe, my dude. Only 4 subscribers. Come on, man. We got to get TJ Denton. Let's show some love to TJ Denton, y'all. One of the newer members to XRP community doing his thing, man. Jumping into the rabbit hole like we all did. Yo, KTV, what's up, man? Thanks for stopping by and saying hello. We're about to wrap up here, guys, but I appreciate everybody tuning in. You guys are amazing, man. Thank you guys so much for your support, for the love, just for the great talks and hanging out with the Blue Crew. And of course, guys, man, anytime you guys think like something that I'm saying is suspicious or like might not be right or anything like that, I'm totally up to just discuss, man. That's what we're all here for. That's what this whole channel is about, is to bring all the communities together. Everybody from all different types of walks of life, whether you're into crypto or not into crypto, let's just hang out, let's talk, let's try to figure out what our next step ahead in this crazy world that we live in, man. It's nuts, man. Spark will be 30 cents. Okay, I hear you. XRP will hit $3 by 12/12/2020, and Spark will be 30 cents. That's pretty awesome, KTV. I don't know your sources, man, but that would be great. Oh, I actually have a question before I tune out, and I've been thinking about this. Okay, so you guys know the lawsuit that Ripple is currently going through, right? And that lawsuit, they've been going through it for a while, right? So what the lawsuit was all about is this guy was suing Ripple because he lost a lot of money from when XRP went up to $3 and like crashed, and I guess he bought at the all-time high, so now he's suing Ripple or whatever. And saying that they sold him an unlicensed security and whatnot like that, right? What if XRP goes past the all-time high? Does that guy want to take away the lawsuit after? Does he say, oh, never mind? Like, is he still holding XRP? And if XRP's price goes to like $5, $6, is he going to take away that lawsuit and be like, oh, never mind. I made money off XRP. I have nothing to complain about. I had to wait a few years for it. No, yeah, for sure. XRP is not a security, but yeah, you guys are still here. We're just ending it right now, Sean Thompson. We're just ending it, but I was just bringing up a question there, like, in terms of the lawsuit with Ripple. I mean, the reason at the end of the day why the guy sued Ripple is because he bought, like, at all-time highs, right, and then lost a shitload of money, so then he's, like, trying to take it out on Ripple for selling him an unlicensed security. Do you think he'll remove the lawsuit or step away from the lawsuit if he's still owning XRP? If XRP hits all-time highs, right? Because then he wouldn't be losing money anymore from his investment in XRP. I'm sure he would be losing a lot of money in terms of the legal team he's assembled. But, yeah, but what's up, Sean Thompson? Appreciate you. He lost only $500. That's crazy, Sean Thompson. That's crazy, man. It's such a joke. That lawsuit is such a joke, man. It's just a good way to keep like average investors from not jumping in, right? And the judge laughed his ass off all the way home. If anyone in the LA area has trouble with groceries and in these hard times can help you get a box of food that feeds 4 per week. Oh, that's awesome, Abe. He must have sold if he lost money. Exactly, Holly Molly. But anyways, guys, thank you guys so much for tuning in to today's little presentation that we had, that little deep dive on ISO 20022. And just remember, man, tomorrow's payments network will be open, and a single, not multiple, a single global payment network will enable anyone to easily pay any person or business instantly. I think I like that. All right, appreciate y'all. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Remember, DLT technology is the future, and the future is bright, my friends. So thank you guys so much tuning in. I'll never tell you guys what to do. I'll just tell you guys what's up. And let's see, man, we didn't even get to check the charts that much today, but what is up is SAP in the past hour with a 13% jump. Turnio just jumping out of nowhere there. Trinity Network starting to finally wake up. Silica doing its thing. Like seeing Silica going to 3 cents finally. Let's see. Hopefully it doesn't get rejected right there. XTC doing its thing. Let's see in the past 30 days again. District OX, Civic, Zap, XRP, XLM. Space Chain doing some things now. Space Chain is starting to wake up a little bit. And NEM doing its thing. Really bullish for Cardano. I don't think Cardano has even gotten started yet. Really excited, guys, man. All in all, it's just a good time hanging out with the Blue Crew. Appreciate y'all. I'll see you guys soon. Adios.